It's Fennec on the Fox. Pink Night coming up very shortly, as well as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we are waiting on a very special phone call. Hello there.
Hi, is this Jeremy?
This is...
Hello, Jeremy. How are you?
Caitlin Kiernan. I am great. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me on today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you on. To give everybody an idea, you may have seen her all over the place. E! News, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight, Fox News, the Sundance Channel. This list goes on and on and on here. Your freelance work's been in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Women's Health, Fitness, Men's Journal. I mean, this list goes on and on, Caitlin. So you are definitely in the know when it comes to all things beauty and fashion.
I'd like to think so, yes.
So now you're also author. We're going to add author to this list. As of today, a brand new book coming out, Pretty Sick, The Beauty Guide for Women with Cancer. Now, this all comes from some personal experience. You're a breast cancer survivor.
I am a breast cancer survivor. Yeah, I was diagnosed in 2012, right after my 42nd birthday. And, that just became like a journey, almost 3-year journey. My cancer journey. So, yeah.
Middle of your 40s, all of a sudden you get this news and you begin to realize, hey, life's going to change big time.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's shocking. I mean, I don't think anybody who ever has gotten a cancer diagnosis is like, oh, yeah, I expected this. But I really didn't expect it. I was healthy. I played sports throughout my life. And when I discovered the lump very accidentally, I couldn't believe it. And then, when I was actually diagnosed, I really, really couldn't believe it. And it wasn't until I started, seeing the effects and the side effects of my treatment that it really kind of hit me like, wow, this is happening.
Things that women are going through and they're going through their heads when they're first diagnosed with cancer, those are some of the things that a lot of people don't really think about, like what's going to happen with your skin, what's going to happen with your hair. This book of yours really kind of ties everything together.
Yeah, I mean, when I was diagnosed, I was a beauty director for a magazine, and I was lucky enough to have a lot of experts in the beauty world that I interviewed on a regular basis. And when I started going through everything, I started calling on all those experts to sort of help me mellow the harsh, a little bit. And it did. There were a lot of simple things that people suggested, but like most people don't go through cancer, so they don't know what to expect. And some of the things they do know to expect, like hair loss, there are a lot of things you can do to offset some of the other side effects as well. So dry skin, nails that start to peel and break and lift up, and mouth sores, and you name it. I talked to someone in the industry who could help me, and I was able to get through a lot of my cancer treatment feeling and looking a lot like my normal self. And when I was finished with all of that, I said, I really want to pay it forward. I was very blessed, and I knew that, and I wanted to make sure that all the other, pink ladies out there that were going through it also had the opportunity to get their hands on this intel, and that's what became Pretty Sick. So I'm just hoping it helps people.
Caitlin, stick around if you can. You are a lot of fun to talk to.
Thank you.
Going to take care of a request for Uncle Bob. Still the same. Coming up next.
We're unloading $10,000 in workday cash.
103.9 The Fox Punch-Out Party on a Tuesday afternoon. My guest today, Caitlin Kiernan, Pretty Sick, the beauty guide for women with cancer. Now, you mentioned, too, like the terrifying thought just a second ago, like losing your fingernails, losing your hair. A lot of women, when they're struck with that, they feel so alone, yet you're not thinking there are so many women that are dealing with this. And like you, to be able to put all of this in one big nugget of knowledge for them, like you said, paying it forward, it's got to feel pretty good, a good way to pay it back.
Yeah, I just, when I wrote this book, I was just like, I really want to make sure that the little things that women can do at home, that they can do in the privacy of their own home to take care of themselves, that they have that ability to do so. We've come so far with advances in cancer care and treatment that women, men, anybody who's experiencing cancer or going through treatment, it can continue living their life. They go to work, they go to the gym, they put their kids on the bus in the morning. Life doesn't stop, and now cancer treatment is so evolved that you're able to kind of live your life. But there's not a lot of information about how to kind of maintain your looks so that you feel kind of like yourself, which helps. It helps a lot that I remember when I was going through it, the worst thing was people would say to me, "How you feeling today?" And it was literally like the worst situation. It's like the question you don't want to ask. It feels so like you owe them an explanation, or it's just you don't want to talk about it. But
Right.
I feel like this book gives people little tips, advice, tricks, things they can do to kind of, pull it together and kind of feel like themselves, and so they can really feel better and power through the day. I know they helped me.
It's interesting, too, that this book is for cancer patients and cancer survivors. My wife, though, has lupus, and both of us chuckled at this title for Chapter 10. Happiness is a state of mind. Relocate there. It's true, though. I mean, it really is. It's a mindset that you kind of have to get yourself into. But I like what you said here, that the problem with being too positive, a double-edged sword. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, it used to be where it'd be like, be positive, and, it'll make everything better. And it's like the reality is when you're losing your nails, when you're losing your hair, when you feel like crap, your life is completely turned around. Why would you ever put that extra burden on someone? It really is a heady burden that isn't realistic. You have to go through the normal emotional process of feeling what you're feeling. Cancer is a shock. It's a disappointment. It's sad. And telling someone, well, just be chipper, because it almost implies that if you have that attitude that everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily the reality. What do you say to someone who's tried to be positive and then, their treatment doesn't take or doesn't work out as well as they had hoped? And I just feel like it's an expectation we can't put on people that are in treatment. What I say is like, listen, it sucks. It's going to suck. You can feel that. But try to kind of find whatever makes you happy or helps you see the silver linings. To me, I wasn't trying to be happy. I was trying to say, okay, what are the silver linings to every situation? All right, I'm going to lose my hair. Well, you know what? I have crazy curly hair that I've hated my entire life. I am finally going to be able to wear a blonde wig that's super straight and super chic. I'm going to have a mastectomy. Okay, well, that sucks. Well, guess what? I had really tiny boobs, and I am going to size up for some perky stripper.
Radio edit. Gonzagas.
That is what I am going to do. And I just really tried to make it, I tried to see the silver lining in absolutely everything, because that's what got me to that end point. But it's whatever works for you. I think we have to let people sort of live their experience without putting any extra pressure on them in a way that we think they should interpret it or live it,
A very interesting conversation with Caitlin Kiernan. Caitlin, do you want to play a fun game?
Yes, I love a fun game.
We're talking boobs and nipples with Caitlin Kiernan, author, and she's a cancer survivor. Her new book out today, Pretty Sick, The Beauty Guide for Women with Cancer. More with Caitlin coming up.
It's Fennec on the Fox.
Fennec on the Fox Punch-Out Party on a Tuesday afternoon. And a very cool lady I'm talking with today. Her name is Caitlin Kiernan. She's the author of the new book, Pretty Sick, The Beauty Guide for Women with Cancer. Caitlin, before you go, I promised you a fun game.
I love a fun game.
Okay, before we get to the fun game, I have to ask you about this because it has something to do with the fun game. Now, in July 2014, you wrote this first-person story for the New York Times, A Tattoo That Completes a Breast. Now, it's about the nipple artist. Now, when I heard nipple artist, just like every man listening right now, whoa, what's a nipple artist? Explain exactly how the nipple tattoos work.
So when you have a mastectomy, a double mastectomy, most of the time everything goes. So the breast tissue goes, but in my situation, I couldn't keep my nipples. So, you have what I call, you're left with Barbie boobs, those kind of mounds that have no nipple on them. It's real attractive.
Right.
And so the final phase of breast reconstruction is nipple reconstruction, where they create a mound, like a little nipple projection kind of thing. But then then you have to finish and get the colors. So there are tattoo artists that create the tattoos that look like 3D dimensional nipples. The tattoo artists there's not a lot of them, and I had to travel all the way down to Maryland to go see Vinnie Myers, who is what they call the Michelangelo of nipple tattoos.
Does it say that on his business card?
I know. Yeah, I mean, it should. He is known for that. There are women that travel in from all sorts. They fly in from different countries, as far as Dubai, to get tattoos from him. And so I did a story on that because no one was talking about it. No one told me about it, and most reconstructions at that time, when I had mine done, it was the plastic surgeon who was doing the tattooing. And plastic surgeons are amazing at what they do,
right?
But they're not trained tattoo artists. They don't know how to mix pigments. They don't know they have limited shades of colors. And if you are someone that's had a bilateral mastectomy, where you have just one nipple that needs to do the matching process, is you have to be a really skilled tattoo artist to get that right. And obviously I didn't want to have pepperoni slices on my chest. I was like, I need these puppies to look good. So I traveled down to Maryland to Vinny, and I was very happy that I did. Subsequently, the story did really well in the Times. Over 10 million people watched it in the first 2 weeks, and I think it's because it really resonated. Not a lot of people were talking about it. Not a lot of women that were in treatment knew where to go to get good tattoos. So, my story was just sort of shedding the light on that topic.
All right. Well, now that you've shed light on it, and I feel much better about this questioning that I'm about to just throw at you, are you ready for Just Bob's 420 contest?
Okay, I love it. Yes, I hope so.
What time is it? 420.
Do you think that smoking drugs is cool?
It's Just Bob's 420 contest.
All right, Caitlin, we were just talking about the nipple tattoo artist. I need you to name 4 colors used on a nipple tattoo in 20 seconds. Go.
Nude, brown, pink, beige.
You're a winner! Got a copy of the brand new book for you, Pretty Sick, The Beauty Guide for Women with Cancer. Caitlin, congratulations on the book. Congratulations on your recovery. And congratulations on your nice nipples.
Thank you. Wow, I'm a winner. Yay.
Got to go get her brand new book right now. You can go pick it up. It's you can find it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and go check her out online, CaitlinKiernan.com. You can also go to Facebook.com/PrettySickBook. And again, Caitlin, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
This is Fennec on the Fox.